me in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Zoe. This is
Holly.
And this is the reading recap for April. Wow.
Yay!
Yay! I'm still on track to read probably over 50 books this year. I'm like 5 ahead of schedule based on the Goodreads, so I'm feeling pretty good about meeting the goal. How much is yours?
How much is my what?
Your goal? What was your goal?
My goal was 12. I'm over that. So.
Oh, she hit that goal. She said 12.
Yeah.
we don't do that around here. Definitely more than one a month. Okay, so we're gonna start with the books that we read for April, and then we'll talk about the books that we plan to read for May. So, the first book that we read, if you couldn't tell, was the second book in Crescent City. So this is House of Sky and Breath. Y'all.
This one was good.
This
for
was
me.
so good.
I could not put this one down. Like Crescent City, I've had a harder time with because I felt like it was just a lot. Like we talked about world building, and I was just like trying to understand stuff. This one, since I knew the world a lot better, I just flew through it. Like I pretty much read this. Like I read like maybe to like here until I got to Savannah, and then I read like all of this in like one weekend.
Yeah,
pretty much. So.
Once it gets popping, it gets popping.
Yeah.
And then there's no point in even putting it down. Like, you might as well just take off work, go to...
Literally.
Like, don't sleep.
And the ending?
The ending. But we're not going to go too in-depth with this book because we are going to do a separate video a little later on in the year that's going to go over all of our theories, and it'll have a lot of spoiler alerts, so I'll make sure I make that very clear.
Yeah.
Because this book is all spoiler alerts. Like, that, like... If you're going to talk about it, so.
Yeah.
That's why we're not talking about it. But yeah, it was really good. If you are thinking about reading the series, do it.
Do it.
Or wait until the whole thing is released so you're not like us and having to wait until...
Or at least until book
year.
3 comes out later this year.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
At least.
No, that's not until next year. January of next year.
Oh, I was thinking it was coming out in the fall.
No.
Pain.
That's too soon.
Pain.
Okay, so the next book I read was not really the layover, but kind of the layover. So I drew this book for my shelf of like books that I hadn't read because I thought I hadn't read it. And then when we were here during the video, I'm pretty sure I saw that there was a bookmark. And I was like, oh, I guess I have read it. But then I was reading about it and it didn't make any sense. Like I was like, oh no, I haven't.
I don't remember this, yeah.
So then, of course, I start reading it and I have definitely read it. It's a good book. Clearly not memorable, as we can all tell. But I could tell just from like trying to reread it again that it's a very slow book. It's like a very typical, like they're supposed to be together, but they're not together, and they're like they have all these like
and the whole story.
They hate each other,
they're gonna
but
get
they
back
love
together,
each
you're just
other.
trying to figure out how.
But she's engaged or something. Like it's like this really complex situation. And then all of a sudden at the end, it's like one of those grand gesture moments where she like shows up at this diner that he always goes to after he's done flying for the day. And it's like, it's always been you. You know, so it was good, but I probably won't read it again type thing. So
yeah. I read the Blood of Elves. So let me just preface this by saying that this is not the first book in the series, despite the literal number that is on the spine. It literally says 1. I know it's not focusing, but it literally says 1. But how these are written, all of the short stories are not numbered like at all. At least with the book set that Brendan bought me. But you're supposed to read this first. And I wish I had... I'll just do these together. This is a snooze fest. Truthfully, it's like reading Shakespeare almost a little bit. That's what we were talking about.
It definitely sounds like it.
It's just... I mean, it's translated from another language. I don't remember what language. I think Polish. I can't remember, though. Mm-hmm. And so, obviously, it just reads very different for that reason. But also, this is, like, all kind of political... like back and forth and whatever. Like I can tell that this book is like this book alone is like the rising action. There's not like a climax at all. It's really just it's setting you up for the rest of the like interesting stuff, I think. But then
She
I
thinks.
started reading The Last Wish, which is technically like the first one, but it's a collection of short stories, but they are still in like a somewhat, not chronological, but like in an order that makes sense. You'll know what I mean if you read it. But absolutely love it. It's honestly a lot like dark retellings of like fairy tales. Like there's like a Snow White reference, a Cinderella reference, a Beauty and the Beast reference. So
Oh yeah, because we looked it up, and that's literally what it says,
Yeah.
that they pull on those short stories.
and you
stuff.
pick up on it. Like it is very obvious. It's not hard to read into.
That's cool.
But it's a very different take on them because obviously there's like monsters and it's medieval-ish and magic and like all that sort of stuff. So it's very good. This one I'm loving. As you can see, I'm actually not finished with it. I'm a little bit over halfway through. So I guess next month I'll get you guys like the full recap if it's needed. If there's any,
Yeah,
maybe
because I need to know if I'm gonna read it.
yeah, maybe I won't. Like but right now I'm really loving it. And I do recommend this one. So
Cool.
we'll see.
Did you read any other ones, or was that it?
That was it.
Okay. So the other two that I read, I always read like at least 1 or 2 Kindle books, I feel like, a month. So the first one I read was so fun. Okay. I was over fantasy, and I was like, I don't want to read any fantasy. I need a break. So I read The First Down. Okay. Don't. No, okay, well, let me rephrase. If you are that kind of person that loves these, like, athletic, boy meets girl, like, just clearly have, like, history, love for each other, blah, 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 and you just want a quick, easy read it. That's kind of why I read it. I was like, quick, easy read and something outside of fantasy. Like, it's present day time, like, nothing, whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like a tutor. He needs a tutor. He's not supposed to date. He has a dark past. Like, dad's mad at him. Like, he's playing football. Like, it's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But you know they're going to get together.
Yeah.
And then they have that dramatic epilogue at the end where they're already, like, whatever. Yeah. So, it's good, but,
Not like noteworthy.
like,
Not
I'd
like
give
a
it 3 stars
recommend,
still,
yeah.
but I wouldn't, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
like, you need to read First Down. you
Yeah,
know?
no, yeah.
The other book I read was How to Kiss Your Best Friend.
Oh, you liked this one.
I actually did, yeah. So, How to Kiss Your Best Friend. And it actually was really cute. It was like, at first I thought, oh, I'm not going to like this. Like,
Generic,
whatever. But it ended up being cool because it was written from the girl's perspective and the guy's perspective almost every other chapter. So, like, you knew that the guy had been in love with the girl for forever. And then the girl shows up and she's, like, struggling with, like, life. Has never thought of her best friend as this person, like, that she could like. Like, it's just very interesting to see how both of them, like, come to the conclusions they do. And then when he decides he's not waiting for it anymore, and then he's doing things intentionally to keep it from happening, and now she's trying to make it. It's just kind of crazy. Like, it's fun. So, again, like, short, sweet, simple, easy read, but, like, wouldn't be my first thing I would pick up, but it's still really good. I think I gave it, like, 4 stars on Goodreads because it doesn't, like, blow you away, but still really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's everything we read. I said it's a good reading haul for, like, the month, honestly.
Not too bad.
So, we're both going to read kind of the same thing. Kind of. So, the Throne of Glass series is a 7-book series by Sarah J. Maas, once again. And Holly hasn't read Throne of Glass, but I have. So, I'm skipping Throne of Glass. But the next one, I need to figure out if the next one is The Assassin's Blade or Heir of Fire, because this is technically the prequel, and it didn't come out until, like, after, I think, the 4th book. So people didn't usually read it first, even though it goes before. But see, this makes Crown of Midnight look like it's next.
Yeah.
Okay, so I might have the wrong books. Whatever. I'm going to read the second book that I should read in Throne of Glass. She's going to read the first book.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
If I get to it.
If she gets to it. I'm definitely going to get to it because it's probably going to be the first thing I read. Well, maybe not the first thing I read because I do want to read these other 2 books. And then once I start this series, that's all y'all are going to get from me.
Yeah.
I already know.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
What
So
do you read?
I will say that obviously, like, I think in the last one I said that I was going to read the entire Witcher series, and I've thought about it a lot, and I'm actually going to take a break after The Last Wish, mainly because I absolutely love the Witcher TV show, and that the next season is coming out in June. And I can tell these books are kind of like season 1, season 2. And so I don't want to read something. Like, I would rather
see the show first.
I would rather see the show first because I'm a bigger fan of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Once it goes to season 4 and Henry Cavill's no longer in it, I don't think I'll really care about like spoilers.
Yeah.
But I really don't want to read a spoiler that's going to happen in season 3.
That makes sense because you started with the show.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a break from these. And I had this actually in my to be read last month, but I haven't gotten around to it, obviously because I've been reading these. But this is Witch Please. I won't go into it. You can watch the last video, but this is like, I really want to get this one done because I've been holding on to it and I'm like, girl, just read this. So I think I'm going to read it as soon as I finish Last Wish. Like, this is like next on my list.
Got you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was in your list and I just got really excited.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next book I really want to read is Milk and Honey. I've had this book on my shelf for 430,000 years and I still haven't read it. It's just a bunch of poems. So it's not like anything crazy, but like, I don't know, I'm just in the mood.
You just want to take the time to like
I'm
go
just
through
in
it.
the mood to like, I'll probably keep this by my bed and just like
And
at
that's
night
like something
read,
you can
like,
co-read very
yeah,
easily,
yeah.
obviously.
So gonna hopefully get through this and then kind of like read it alongside of other things. So
Yeah.
I'm excited. She has a lot of good books. Like they're all the same, like little poetry books. But
Yeah.
that's cool. So
all right, last on my list. So like I said, I want to finish The Last Wish, then read this one. Then I'm going to read Neon Gods. This is like a smutty, indulgent book.
so good.
Zoe's read this, and so she recommended it to me. And so I'm going to, I mean, it says unspeakably hot. So I'm going to read this one before I start Throne of Glass. Because once I'm in Throne of Glass, like, I'm going to be in it.
it's a Hades Persephone story. So
Yes.
that helps.
Yeah.
if you didn't
Yeah.
know.
I feel like a lot of people like so many adaptations of Hades Persephone. So that's the other one.
That's so good.
And then I'll move on to Throne of Glass.
We are so ambitious for May.
Yeah, we really are.
really are.
When we're already going to be so busy, but...
No, the one that I know I need to be less ambitious for is June.
But, like, these kind of books, I feel like you can just
That
fly
one, you're
through.
gonna, bro, you're going to fly through.
That's my thing, is, like, both of these I feel like are going to be easy reads, and I'm just talking about these, because, like, I have to take breaks from The Witcher, because it's so, like... heavy is the word I'm thinking of, but
It's
you
heavy
know
to
what I
read.
mean.
Yeah.
Like
it's
takes
a lot of
brain
text.
power.
Yeah.
Versus like these are written how we speak. You know what I mean? And so I know I'm gonna fly.
I
through
will
these.
say, Throne of Glass world building is going to be way easier than you've ever had to deal with.
Oh, like with Crescent City or ACOTAR.
Like, it's not easy per se, but I feel like Throne of Glass is a little bit easier to comprehend because it's only in one location.
Oh,
Like, you know
gotcha.
what I mean? And like,
You're not having to
most people
learn about
like
all the different districts of the cities. and
yeah,
the
like
ports and
there
the-
is history and stuff, but like nobody has powers, so you're not like you're not having to learn about like 72,000 different creatures that have like, whatever.
I got you.
Yeah, so you'll see.
Cool.
Okay, so the last book I have, I drew from my jar. It's number 9. I have no idea what this is. I don't even know why I try to like be like, I'm gonna guess the book. Oh, it's a good old romance. I saw the lips.
Oh,
26 kisses.
I remember you going through this one in your TV
Okay,
reads.
let's see. Getting dumped by her boyfriend is now Veda plan on starting her. Oh, is not how she planned to start her summer. So she's heartbroken, and so she makes a list to kiss 26 boys with 26 different names of each letter of the alphabet for the summer.
Go off, sis.
Okay.
Like, do you?
Pop off, queen. So
funny.
that is going to be on my list to read as well.
Nice.
Alright guys, so if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and subscribe to Holly's channel as well. She just hit 1,000 subscribers. And you could be 1,001.
2006.
1,006. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you're reading, what you have read, if you have any recommendations for us.
Yeah,
we
definitely leave us
love book
recommendations.
recommendations. And yeah,
You can also find us on Goodreads.
Oh my gosh,
You can
yeah.
be friends on Goodreads.
We'll link you our Goodreads links. Go follow us on Goodreads. You can see what we rate. Kind of. Sometimes I'll write a little review. Most of the time I don't. If I do, it's like short and to the point. Like I'm
Yeah.
very like
I don't really write reviews. I'll rate it, but I won't write the review.
Some people write heavy reviews. Like if you're not on Goodreads and you really like to read reviews,
it serious like their job.
You should join Goodreads.
Yeah, but beware spoilers because they're so often in the reviews,
spoilers. And they won't tell you. So
yeah, sometimes
also, if you like Holly and I, you should go listen to our podcast at chapters.pod on Instagram. And we're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So check it out, check it out, check it out. But yeah, I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.
Butterfly in the sky. I can go twice as high.